Ready. All right. Yo, welcome back to Not Another Gaming Podcast. It's your boy Papa Dom, and you are now rocking with the finest degenerate journalists on the internet every Thursday night, live, twitch.tv/wickedgoodgaming, just like we always do. It's not a big deal. We've got some illustrious guests in the history of the podcast. We've had, a couple names, couple recognizable names, but I don't think that we've had as recognizable of a name on the podcast yet as we have right now. You may know him from his super clean, family-friendly Discord channel. You may know him from his own Twitch and YouTube content. But here this week, we've got my man Bricky, a.k.a. Bricky Orchid 8. How we doing, sir?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you for asking. Super clean Discord chat. Oh yeah, that's the best way. Family friendly. Perfect. I invite all my friends' kids to watch. It's absolutely.
It's super friendly. Thicky, we're getting a lot of Thicky Orchid in here. Thicky
yes,
thick. Shout out to the.
Would you like me to explain that?
Please explain it. Please explain it right now. Yeah.
I mean, I can use my imagination unless it's something else.
I'm sure it's not that difficult to understand.
You thick, my guy? You thick?
Sometimes in the right places. So long story short, is I just made a video talking about the channel today, and ever since then, it's a lot. I talk a lot about I play games like League and Overwatch. People do the thick talk all the time. So when it's So Thick Brick, of course, not only does rhyme, but anyway, people like that shit. So today, specifically, when I upload the video, there was already some kind of little cult. This is cult squared, called Thicky, because just they feel like it, because they want it.
They just feel like. I mean, listen. Sometimes you need a little thickness in your life. I mean, everybody can relate. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Jehovah thickness.
I don't know. I can't relate, guys. I am thinning down real quick from this diet. Can't you tell?
Honestly, you do look a little skinnier.
Yeah, you look.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, you're still big, but you look smaller.
I look gaunt. I look like a fucking skeleton with flesh over it. Literally
Gaunt.
flesh.
Welcome to my life.
Wait, a skeleton with flesh over it? So you mean like a human?
Right, but like a really skinny, like malnourished one that doesn't have carbs in the system anymore.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
Speaking of malnourished, we were snowed in this weekend, and all I had to eat was a family bag of Doritos, 2 boxes of Sour Patch Kids, and 4 Hot Pockets. And I've never felt worse. I've been shitting oil.
Hey, you can't talk shit on the Hot Pockets. So that stuff will finish
they're
you.
phenomenal. They're phenomenal. I got ham and cheese, and then I made a ballsy call to get like a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant Hot Pocket. Don't sleep on it. It was fucking phenomenal.
I will trust you on that one. I turned myself up a little bit. I've heard people saying that I'm a little quiet.
Yeah, I just turned up everybody too.
Okay, perfect. So I hope this is good. I'll try to keep the microphone in a solid spot.
Yeah. And the alerts are on. The alerts are going absolutely batshit crazy right now. Shout out to all the people following. We really appreciate you. The followers are getting real thick,
right now.
Just like our man Thick Brick right here. And
Thick Brick.
Speaking of other thick people, we really hope that he stays thick for as long as humanly possible, but he's slimming down at an alarming rate. Dr. Bob, how we doing?
I can't flex anymore, guys. It's done. My whole fucking body hurts right now. It's not good. I have no energy left in my body whatsoever, and like the emptiness that I had beforehand, and the lack of drive to survive and continue on in life is just diminishing at a rapid rate.
Yeah, you've seemed to be a miserable prick lately.
Yeah,
just gonna put that
out
there.
It's not good. It's literally not good.
Yeah, it seems like you just get set up. I mean, I can only imagine. What is that? No carbs you're doing?
Yeah, no, a keto diet, no carbs.
No carbs. Yeah, I would kill myself.
Yeah, I would.
There's no way It's like I'm like on an all carb diet.
Yeah, I was too. I was too. Why do you think I looked the way I did?
I'm sitting
2
here
weeks ago.
just absolutely rifling my way through a box of Pepper Jack Cheez-Its, just laughing in the face of danger. Oh, dude, the Pepper Jack ones are pretty fire.
Oh, they're fantastic. But I mean, I think I gotta remain loyal to the 2 and 2, like the half white Parmesan, half regular mix.
Yeah, the mix ones, the
I
duos.
can't. Exactly. I can't move from there. But Pepper Jack is really good.
I think
All right, I'm calling it off. Diet's done. I'm gonna go get some Cheez-Its.
Okay, we need to go around the horn real quick and just make sure we get everybody's correct Cheez-It flavors. Also, if you're in the chat right now, live, twitch.tv/wickedgoodgaming, what is your favorite Cheez-It flavor? We need that right now. Chris, favorite Cheez-Its, go.
I like white cheddar.
Oh, good. That's a sophisticated call.
I'm just a sophisticated guy.
Absolutely. Bob?
Jalapeno.
Ooh.
Really?
Those ones come in the dual packs. They come in the jalapeno ones come in the dual pack with the bacon cheddar, which is, oh man, too good, too fucking good.
God, I knew the chat was just gonna erupt with oats.
Yeah, Bricky, what is oats? Can you explain oats to us?
Okay. So there was a guy. There was a meme a while ago, like about a year and a half ago.
I know.
And that was some YouTuber, Joe Capo, I think is his name. And there's like a picture of these like two pigs, some painting, and he just took a really odd text to speech and made some little story about how one was trying to get oats from the other pig, and it was really stupid. It was really dumb, but he's made like 90 of these, and I thought they were really funny, so I started saying them again. This is like a year and a half old meme. But I started saying, actually, hold up.
Oh, here we go. We're going to get some live oats. Oh, my God.
Looks like Bob on your shirt.
This just came today, and it's so stupid. It's one of the dumbest memes ever, but it just, I don't know why it's so funny. It's the same reason why the boneless meme was funny, because it's just really loud and obnoxious and dumb. Yeah. But so at this point, it's just become a big thing on the channel. Everyone in the Discord has some version of oats in their name, and I like I said, they're degenerates. I don't know.
Listen, they're feeling right at home because you're talking to the finest professional degenerates. We're trying to make a career out of this. I mean, we haven't had any famous rappers or football players on our streams recently, but we're getting there.
Oh yeah, Jesus! The man said the word Twitch Prime and got 1,000 subs in a second.
Yep.
Dude, if I was him, I would have did the exact same thing. I would have been like, hey, while you're here, steal your girlfriend's Amazon Prime, subscribe to us on Twitch right now, do what you got to do, and people are just flipping. People are just finding out what Twitch was at one time and subscribe to him. It's absolutely wild.
I'm going to be the one that says it. Drake was not playing that game.
Yeah, just like the Snoop Dogg one. Hey,
no
Ben
chance.
Rams, thank you for the sub, brother.
Wait, you mean not playing the game as in literally not playing the game, or in the sense was just like not playing super well?
No, like he physically wasn't holding a controller or keyboard playing anything.
Oh, really? You think someone else is playing it for him?
Yeah, I mean, I hope that it was him because Drake is the man in my book, but like he had the right movements down and it looked like he knew what he was doing, but at the same time, like it kind of seemed too good to be true. A man that's as busy as him, I really don't see him being good at Fortnite.
That's fair. I think I remember seeing on Twitter, I think it was Lil Yachty. I don't know exactly who it was, but he won a Fortnite game. I think it was on console. But he won it because he blew the hole or the bottom of someone's dude's base out, and he fell to his death. And it was like a 0-kill game. Like he won, but he didn't kill a single person. So the dude just kind of fell.
Dude,
he was stoked, man. He was running across the room in the bathroom, going back. He was excited, but yeah, you could see he's. I mean, no one's ninja, but it was very slow.
It was Lil Boat and Logic were hitting up Drake, saying that they wanted to get on stream with him at some point.
Yeah, because
Logic's a notorious gamer. Logic's been playing video games his entire life. Lil Boat, I don't know about that, but like we'll see.
Lil Boat can't even fucking count.
All right, so we're gonna before we get into any more current events news, every week in the podcast we like to start off with a little weekend recap. So we'll go around the horn. Bricky, Thick, Bricky, Mr. The Oats.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't even keep up with the memes that are just flooding this chat right now.
They're doing eggplant now.
Oh, I told them to throw their eggplants up for you, and they did.
Thank God. Thank God. I appreciate it.
So throw your eggplants up for Bricky, and also while you're here, steal your girlfriend's Amazon Prime and subscribe to us. We'll go around the horn. You're our guest of honor, so why don't you start off first? What'd you get into this weekend? Did you have any refreshments? Did you play any video games? How'd it go?
But when you say this weekend, are you referring to like technically last weekend because it's Thursday? So like,
yeah. I mean, if you want to give us a little preview of what you have going on this coming weekend, but yeah, tell us what you did last weekend.
Oh, geez. I did what I always did. I woke up. I had food and coffee. I made some videos. I streamed a few times, and that. I mean, I'm a very how you say, a formulaic person. I don't do anything too crazy or anything out of the ordinary. It just kind of goes in the sense of like, hey, I wake up, I do my videos, I do my streams, I edit my videos, I render them, I go to sleep, and I repeat. Is there anything specific that I did? I started a game called Transistor.
Ooh, looks good.
It's really neat. It's like a top-down kind of I forget they made a couple games like that, but it's like a top-down cyberpunk-esque sort of turn-based, sort of not turn-based combat game. It's really unique. It's definitely indie and a lot like smaller, but the art style is just gorgeous. It was incredibly beautiful. I thoroughly been enjoying that. Besides that, I mean, I've been on the Fortnite grind, the For Honor grind as of late. I've been trying to get into Rainbow Six as of recently. Rainbow Six is not treating me well at all. Goddamn, Jaeger is a piece of shit. Oh my god, it spawned killing me in every single game I play, but I don't know.
I thought you meant the booze.
Stuff.
I know. I thought you were talking about the booze too.
I thought you meant the booze, Jägermeister. So I was like nodding my head. I was like, "Yep, I've had my nights too."
Oh, well, yeah, Jaeger is also kind of a piece of shit depending on the situation. But no, different Jaeger. But I mean, I don't know, just videos and shit, games is pretty standard.
Games, videos, love it. Word. All right.
Yep.
Bob, since we're starting to now get comments about the conch shell sound in the background, why don't you tell us about your weekend?
Well, fuck, dude. I don't know what conch shell you. I'm just gonna throw my laptop out. I'll stream it from my. I'll join the stream like from my phone.
All right, Drake.
What did I do? Oh, Friday. It was like the end of the first week of the diet, and I had no energy, so I came home and I passed out on my couch. Then I woke up. I played PUBG for about 6 hours. Then Saturday, I blacked out at Mix 360. I'm pretty sure.
Good.
I'm pretty sure
Right.
I'm pretty sure I got home at like 2:00 in the morning, and then I played PUBG for another 2 or 3 hours. Oh, and I started playing RuneScape again.
Oh my
Let's
god.
Let's fucking go.
Loser.
Yeah. I don't give a shit, dude. I love that game. That game's fucking great.
You're a fucking dweeb.
Whatever.
Man, I've never played RuneScape in my life, so that's something I haven't experienced yet.
Good.
Oh, original RuneScape serve as a backup? I think you should get back on. I think you should give it a shot.
Oh my god.
I don't know, man. It sounds like a grind.
Oh, it's a grind. But it's a good kind of grind.
Yeah, I got Warframe. I'll survive.
Yeah.
That's true. I haven't played Warframe yet.
Chris, I know you and I shared a moment this weekend, but
I can't believe you tried to kiss me again. That's
dude,
fucking
I mean,
so
listen,
weird.
can we just? I thought we weren't going to talk about that while we were on the air.
Were you wearing socks?
No.
Oh well, then okay, good. I'm glad you stopped him then.
Well, yeah, I mean,
if you weren't wearing if you were wearing socks, then it was totally fine. But
I would have put him on the news.
That's on you.
You guys don't wear socks when you? Never mind. What'd you do this weekend, Chris?
So Dom and I we got a nice bite to eat at the local Tony Floramos. Got some steak tips, some ribs, a couple Goose Island IPAs. Also went over to Mix 360 later on that night. I had a couple of refreshments, and that place was bumping, and there was the amount of creatures that crawl around that place. It is absolutely hilarious.
It's unbelievable.
Like you can people watch there for hours and hours and hours, and like it never gets old. I've heard of a girl going into the bathroom because she was drip sweating to kneel down under the hand dryers to try to cool off. I can't make this shit up. I have a picture of it and everything.
I've seen it.
Wait, what is drip sweating?
Like,
are you referring to like sweating to where it's like literally just straight up going off?
Yeah, like girl, let me see that drip sweat. You know what I mean? Like.
No,
yeah, no,
I've never heard this term
can't-
before.
Like sweat pouring down.
Chris doesn't do words good. He just means like they're dripping with sweat.
Yeah,
okay,
dripping with sweat.
okay. Well, that's
Drip
simple.
sweating.
I thought it was some like I don't know. I thought it was some fucking like Boston term or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's just like literally just sweat pouring down the girl's face.
Okay.
So that was that. Saturday, I didn't really feel like doing much. Went to the local watering hole around here. Had a couple beers. Called it a night. Nice early night. And this isn't the weekend, but today I got involved in the cross-platform Fortnite. And all my buddies play on Xbox One. And I'm so jazzed that I get to play on PC with them now. And it was an absolute blast. So I can't wait to keep playing that so I could actually play it with people now because no one likes playing with me on PC. I don't know what it is, but...
I'm sure if you're cross-platforming with them, you were just stomping people if you had a mouse and keyboard versus a controller.
Yeah,
and like there were some people where it was just easy to. I was just working certain people, and you can tell that they were the console players because obviously with mouse and keyboard you can build a lot easier and quicker. But there were also people you would bump into, and you're like, holy shit, this is a PC player. So like you actually had to turn it on a little bit and get a little creative. And then there were some people you could, I don't know if, is mobile in on it yet? Or is it still in beta? Do you know that?
It's still in beta.
I was going to say, well, maybe just some console players are ass because I thought they were playing on their fucking phone. But
I know they've released the iOS beta to a bunch of like video game industries to test. Yeah. But I'm not. I'm almost positive it's not live yet.
Yeah. Well, regardless, actually, we'll talk about this after Dom tells us what he did this weekend. But yeah, that was my weekend.
All right. So first of all, because I'm gonna forget, we just got a user in the chat who told me to ask you, Bricky, about the forehead reduction Patreon.
Doesn't sound good.
Oh yeah, that was something that happened. Was it April 1st? I don't remember if it was April 1st. No, that was a different video. It was some stupid thing. It was some memey dumb video, and at the end of it, I linked a GoFundMe for forehead reduction surgery. There's a lot of forehead memes, really, because it's pretty bright right now. It's going hard.
Listen, but from one guy with like a big forehead to another. I mean, me and you got to stick together. We got to unionize. Big Forehead Gamers Anonymous.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to make a Twitch group and everything. There's got to be a club.
Twitch community. Somebody set up a Twitch community for big foreheads. Hey, Big Head is the name of the community.
Big Head, 5 Head, whatever you want to call it. No, it was just a dumb thing that I made as a joke for a GoFundMe. And it was just a picture of my forehead saying, please make this smaller or something like that. It's like when people make a GoFundMe, like, yo, man, I'm broke. I need a haircut. And it's like $30, It's simple stuff. They ended up donating like $100. And I was just like, wait, why?
Wow.
Why? And so, I don't know, I had a nice dinner.
Yeah, hey, boy. Dude, nothing on your forehead isn't even that big.
No, it's see, the forehead meme arrived. Oh, here, I could talk about the forehead meme after you talk about your weekend. Then we can get into that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right, cool.
So, for me, big Friday night, got out of work, left the office. I was absolutely fucking dying for steak tips. All day. I was literally talking about this place all day. It's called Floramo's. Shout out to Tommy Floramo. Me falls off the bone. And so I texted Rob and Chris, and I mean, I was trying to get them together to have a couple beers this weekend anyway. And Chris was like, yeah, I could go for some steak tips. So we met at Floramo's. There was like a 40-minute wait, but we snuck in and got, like, I saw these two people, like, just putting their fork and knife down. And I mean, you would have thought I was about to jump in their grave how quickly I got to this table. I mean, Chris can probably attest to this. I mean, I literally, you blink and you miss me. I was there.
It was wild. You were like dabbing their mouth for them because they were barely even done eating. They like just finished.
So yeah, we got in there. We actually sat down really quickly. We got a little tips and ribs combo. It was like $14.50. You can't beat it. Couple nice ice cold beers, tips, ribs. I was ready for bed after that. And then we ended up hitting up a couple of local places to like have another drink, but we were literally so full. I was like, dude, I can't have it. I literally cannot stomach another beer because I'm so full of like steak and pork that I couldn't eat and couldn't drink anymore. But I muscled down a couple more like Chick Ultras. So thank you for your service, Don. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I did. Yeah, I think that's it actually. Hung out with my nephew, played some video games. I've been playing a lot of... I played the demo for Kirby Superstar Allies or something like that. Have you played that?
No, but I'm a big fan of Kirby stuff. So
yeah. It's good. I mean, so Oh, hey, shout out to Boston Brad in the chat who knows Floramos. You already know. Tell me what you put in what you got from the menu in the chat right now. So Kirby Superstar Allies is pretty good. The frame rate sucks on it. It's like really, I mean, it looks great. It really looks beautiful. It's definitely the best looking Kirby game out right now. But the mechanic where there's like 4 people at any given time is an absolute clusterfuck. It's like Kirby Superstar Clusterfuck is literally should be the name of it. I love Kirby. I really do. I really do love Kirby games, but we've had so many of the same Kirby games, and I feel like there's like 8 Kirby games a year because they're all the same. I really just feel like they should have limited it to 2 people, but you need to have 4 like allies in your party at all times. And then, it's cool because you can modify powers. So like if you have the sword and you have a flame guy as your ally, he can come over and like light your sword on fire so that you can do more damage and shit like that. But I just feel like there could have been a way that they would do it without me being afraid of having a seizure every time I play that game.
That I could see that. I could see it just going absolutely wild if there's too many people like just running around.
Oh my god! And Boston Brad got the tips and rib combo with fries. My man,
Exactly what we got.
Exactly what we
tips
got.
Tips and ribs. So, or is that like ribs and like rib tips or?
So, that's right, because steak tips don't exist outside of New England. So okay,
Really?
so there's sirloin tips.
What are steak tips? Yeah,
there's sirloin tips. So they're like it's basically the end of a sirloin. And it's probably about like this big, probably like the size of like a silver dollar or something like that. And they marinate them. They usually marinate them for like forever until somebody buys them. And they cook them. They're like little pieces of steak. They're really tender. They come apart really easy.
It sounds really damn good. Yeah, that actually does sound really good. I thought the closest thing I knew about was rib tips, but rib tips are like I have in like Louisiana kind of style stuff.
Yeah, but Bricky, you're going to be at PAX East, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're getting steak tips.
Okay, we'll get some. We'll take you get steak tips.
I've only been to Boston once for last PAX East, and I absolutely adored it.
Oh yeah,
it was beautiful. I won't be able to stay at the same place. I stayed at the Envoy. Last time I went. Oh yeah, I was better than yeah. No, my father works out of Boston. Well, he travels to Boston a lot. This is where his main place was, and so he was able to get Envoy at like a third of the price.
No
so,
shit!
Yeah,
wow, congrats
absolutely.
on the hookups.
Yeah,
well, it was cool. To be fair, they've doubled their prices since like 3 months ago.
Yeah,
it was like 600 a night. Now it's like 1,000. So I'm not going to the Envoy again. But at the time, though, it was kick ass. I absolutely adored it. I went to Legal Seafood. It was one of my favorite places over there. It was absolutely delicious.
Yeah, we're definitely.
But I'm very down. I want to try that stuff out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But then there's also a roast beef 3-way, which isn't outside of New England. So like we got to figure that out. How does that work?
I mean, I'm always down for a 3-way.
Like the Just Okay Gamers, I don't think they've ever had a roast beef 3-way before either. We told them we would take them to get one too. So, we're gonna have to figure this out.
We're gonna have a big group date.
I'm just gonna show up just slinging beefs at people. A big bag of roast beefs, just slinging beefs.
All right, so I want to get to the topic that I put this together, and I don't know if we'll have enough time to go through like the whole first part of this. But I'd love to start off the March Madness theme that we have going right now. Bricky, has Rob told you about this at all?
Not yet, though. I did want to actually mention a quick thing. Your stream title, did you end up changing it? It still says Hearthstone ranked ladder pregame with Papa Dom alerts on.
That a boy, Dom. Fucking smooth, kid.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that there was just me.
There's got that one Hearthstone fan who's just like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Is this episode 69?
I just wanted to make sure.
This is episode 69.
Hey.
Wow. Nice.
You chose the right person. Good shit.
Wow. Throw your 69s in the chat. Throw your 69 emojis in the chat. Hold on one second. I'm changing it right now. It's almost like I'm the only person who like fucking updates things on the Twitch page.
Yeah, throw a BO8 smug in the chat.
That's not true. I stream every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday?
Every Tuesday. Booze Days with Dr. Bob.
Booze Days with Dr. Bob. Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good name.
Okay. All right. yeah, that's going to change eventually. I don't know why Twitch doesn't like me sometimes, and it won't change the title of the stream. But here's the deal. So we are doing the very first ever, the inaugural Wicked Good Gaming March Madness Bracket, and I think every year until the end of time, we're going to do a March Madness Bracket with a different genre of games. So for our inaugural bracket, we figured we would do a genre of games that Chris is familiar with, which is like two genres.
I put 8. I do know 8 games.
A genre that he's familiar with. So we're basically breaking down the best first-person shooters of all time.
Oh, all right, I'm down. Actually, FPS games are probably my favorite games.
That's why I like you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it may not be very evident with the with what's currently going on in my Twitch or my YouTube and stuff, but I grew up with FPS games, so I'm absolutely down. Hell yeah.
Yeah, awesome. All right, cool. And forgive me if I can't keep up with all the notifications. We've gotten like a ton of bits and donations and stuff like that, and we really do appreciate it. So thank you. All right, I'm going to minimize Bricky's forehead for just a few minutes.
Smart idea.
Just so I can fit the bracket on screen so that everybody can see what we're doing.
I could zoom in to my forehead and like make it the full screen. You can just place it on top.
We could use his forehead as a backdrop for the fucking
Hey, come on, it's easy.
Oh, that'd be sick. Get a PNG of
that. Sounds perfect.
Right.
I can do that. Just give me the word. I'll do it.
I think I'm going to shrink Bricky's forehead, and I got like 6 different people going, yeah, that's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, they're right.
Dude, this is
happen.
you got like this sounds like all the people who used to bully me in middle school for my forehead. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so that's so I mean, yeah.
Here we go. It's all coming out. It's all coming out.
Yeah, this is the repressed memories and feelings. It ended up. It's all started because I just bought a new camera, but I didn't white balance it correctly, and I was spending a lot of time trying to fix it. So I did my first video like pink and really sweaty. And I used to slick my hair back like really hard 50s greaser style. Nice. So it was just a reflective like blur. It was so bright. I was like, what the fuck?
Did you have to use like hair gel for it? Because Dom doesn't need any. He just naturally emits a ton of hair grease. So he just slicks his back anyway.
Oh, I mean, no, I need hair gel plenty. I just get like super fine. I'll look like a school shooter if I can do my hair correctly. It just goes everywhere. It's horrifying. But no, I do a pretty decent amount of gel when I use mine.
No, you got a nice head of hair.
Your hair looks nice. You get some nice lettuce there. All right, I'm gonna put the bracket in the window so that people can see it.
All right.
1 second here. Hold on.
Yo, nothing. Bricky, I was actually on your Twitter the other day. Go figure, because we've all been talking on it. The video that got done of you, the day in a life, or like the
life of a streamer.
Life of a streamer, dude. That came out fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, so Matt or Magikarp used Fly. If you don't know, his name is Matt.
Yeah.
No, he's an incredibly talented guy. Absolutely. We spent a lot of time on that. It was fun having him here. Oh yeah, it's so funny once you realize where all that talent came from, and it makes it even funnier.
I know where that talent came from.
You watch him enough to know?
Yeah, I did.
All right, you got it.
So I met him at PAX last year, actually, and I gave him a business card, and I was like, hey, your Magikarp use Fly. I sent you an email a couple of months ago, because this is right when we started the podcast.
Right.
Yeah, this is probably like episode 20 or right around that. We were at PAX last year. So I sent him an email. I was like, hey, we'd love to have you on sometime. Never got back to me, but I saw him at PAX, and I was like, hey, man, like I sent you an email. Here's our business card. I'm a huge fan. I sent him specifically in the email. I was like, hey, look, I was really, it's fucking weird to say this, but I was moved by how much work you put into how you got to where you are today with your videography. And should I say it? I don't know if I should say it, but I mean,
I mean, if you just shoot him a tweet or something about it, I'm sure he'll be stoked. But I mean, save emails for business emails,
No,
but
I mean, should I mention how he got to where he is in videography?
Nah, yeah, I keep it. I keep that. I mean, people know it's fine, but I mean, it might be weird. But like, man, I can't believe you're so good from all that porn. It might come off a little bit strange.
That's good. I don't know what to say. There you go. But if you want to watch the video, check out Magikarp Use Fly on YouTube. He put up a video of how he got to where he is today.
I need to get some tips. I need to get some tips. When I try firing off dick pics, like the lighting isn't right and everything like that, I need to get some.
Oh yeah, no, it was funny. Okay, so small thing I asked him. So if specifically, I'm not going to get too detailed, obviously, but you know, you ever have, you know, girls down there, top down view kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing the usual thing. I always wondered, like, how is he filming that? Is like the dude there holding the camera like this? What's going on? Apparently he's holding the camera and the dude's just like doing this.
Oh,
because Matt's like holding the big camera right in front of him, so he's kind of has to sit there and just like stand like this
So
the entire time.
So what you're saying is, when I finally purchase a VR set, like an Oculus Rift, and I'm watching VR porn, and I'm looking down at like a girl blowing me, I could just think of Magikarp Use Fly filming above my shoulder.
To be perfectly honest, if you're not thinking of Matt during porn, then you're doing something wrong.
Jesus Christ.
I guess I'm doing something wrong then.
Literally, I just want to let you guys know that we've legitimately hemorrhaged like 45 viewers since you started on this path. Maybe we should.
So be it.
Yeah.
So be it. Porn. Everyone fucking watches it.
Oh my god. All right. So the very first ever Wicked Good Gaming March Madness bracket, the first person shooter edition. Bricky, I'll leave it up to you. We probably have enough time to go through like 2 of these. So we're in the round of 32 right now. So for anybody not familiar, basically I put the bracket in the chat. We have 32 different first-person shooters that are currently in the chat window right now. There's 4 different regions or like categories. We have modern, sci-fi, historical, and then our wild card category, which is kind of a little mixed bag of everything else. Basically, the way this is going to work is sometime before the end of March. We've got about this and 2 other episodes of the podcast. We're going to break down each game, each matchup. We're going to debate it. We're going to argue about it. And, you know, we're going to see who comes out on top. Obviously, this is all based on us arguing. This is all us, you know, based on us just, like, yelling at each other on the internet. So, you know, you take this with a grain of salt. I don't expect everybody to agree on it. And we, frankly, don't care if you agree with it. So, because we're not going to agree with each other. So,
most likely not.
Yeah, exactly. So, we'll leave it to you.
There are very few times in the 3 of our lives that we have ever agreed on anything unanimously.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can't even recall any of them.
Fair.
No. Yeah, the only one was like, hey, let's start a gaming website.
Yeah.
So, Bricky, we'll leave it to you. So we've got modern, historical, sci-fi, and wild card. Where do you want to start?
I mean, I enjoy most of the. In fact, all the with the exception of historical, I've played pretty much all of these. So I mean, let's start off with modern. Why not? Let's just go in order.
All right, Bob. That's your bracket. So why don't you break it down? I don't know if you want to start at the top or if you want to do a certain matchup first. How do you want to play this?
Let me take a peek real quick. I want to look at a matchup that's like controversial. Oh, I see a perfectly good starting point for the controversy. PUBG versus GoldenEye 64 in modern first-person shooting.
We might need an entire episode of the podcast to talk about this one.
Well, we randomized this. We selected a top seed, and then so my top seed for modern first-person shooting was, of course, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
I like it.
Which I'm not going to talk about now because this is going to be when that argument comes up, that's going to be its own segment. But after the top seed, we randomized the other 7 in each bracket. So we have Rainbow Six Siege up against Battlefield 3, or Rainbow Six Siege up against COD Modern Warfare, Battlefield 3 up against Far Cry 3, Team Fortress 2 up against CSGO, and then the one I want to start with, PUBG against GoldenEye 64. So PUBG, a lot of people know that I am addicted to games such as League of Legends, Overwatch, Hearthstone. I was addicted to Fortnite, and now I'm addicted to PUBG. And there's nothing I can do about it because I am an addict, okay? I haven't gone through all the steps yet, but I am an addict when it comes to these games.
That's fair, yeah.
PUBG is my drug currently, and I need to get off of it next week when I start streaming on Booze Days. But when it comes to GoldenEye 64, it is such a turning point in the first-person shooting genre on the greatest video game console of all time, the Nintendo 64, and it helped to revolutionize first-person shooting for the modern day currently. So I don't know which one should come out on top here. I have to be biased because PUBG, I play it way too much. I have hundreds of hours put into that game, and honestly, GoldenEye 64 doesn't hold up to this day. I'll say it. I don't fucking care. Everyone be mad at me. But I'm going to have to go with PUBG.
I can't go with that one. I mean, GoldenEye 64 is kind of one. I mean, I can debate you for years about Nintendo 64 being the best console in my opinion, but I'm not entirely sure if I agree that same sentiment. But I mean, GoldenEye obviously, of course, doesn't hold up. I feel like you have to take the game for as it is when it came out. So if we're fighting like release GoldenEye versus like release PUBG, I think it kind of swaps it around a little bit. Honestly.
Oh, absolutely. Anything against
completely.
Anything against release PUBG wins because PUBG now still sucks, but it's just too addictive.
If I had to, there were two things specifically that. Don't get me wrong, PUBG has some good things. Obviously, the fact that they can create a map that detailed and that large is impressive. The success it has at the current moment is wonderful, but there are two very solid reasons why, in my opinion, GoldenEye is significantly better, which is hackers and desync. Two things you will not get in GoldenEye. Because those two things bug the shit out of me. Nothing pisses me off more than reaching down, grabbing a shotgun, and then having it not be in my inventory and see the other guy right in front of me with a shotgun.
Yep.
And it's just, it gets me. It gets me. It's one of those things that absolutely makes me very, very annoyed. So, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I get the nostalgia goggles because I will always look at something about my childhood from a better light than it actually was. But considering what it did at the time, man, I gotta do GoldenEye, man.
Yeah, I feel like it's a no-brainer for me. GoldenEye is the reason why pretty much every modern shooter is the way that it is. I think that everybody wants to... I mean, if you're a game developer who's worked on a first-person shooter, you want to recreate that feeling when you first played GoldenEye with your friends. No, like, you know, there would be no Halo 2 without GoldenEye. A lot of these games on this list wouldn't have the mechanics or the innovations that they have without GoldenEye. PUBG, I feel like, is a flash in a pan. It's the flavor of the month. I think that battle royale games are the flavor of the month. I mean, I don't think that say what you will. I mean, I think that between like H1Z1 and Fortnite and PUBG and every other battle royale game that's coming out right now, obviously it's a very entertaining game to watch, and I think that their success lends itself to the way gaming is now, where it's a spectator sport. You know, gaming is a spectator thing right now. The fact that we're all broadcasting on the internet talking about video games is credit to that. But when we're talking about the better game, it's gotta be GoldenEye. And I mean, especially if we have to say, okay, well, compare GoldenEye at launch then compared to, PUBG at launch. I mean, PUBG was a fucking hot mess, and it still is. Even Rob, who plays this game probably 90% more than he plays any other game, constantly is talking about how, like, what a mess that game can be in a technical fashion. So, yeah, it's hands down GoldenEye for me. Chris, what do you got?
So I think this list really wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for GoldenEye, to be honest. That really started the shooters as we know it. I think this list wouldn't even be a thing if it wasn't for that game. I also hate PUBG. It was never really fancied me at all. And I would love to see CS:GO kick PUBG's dick in the Sweet 16. But on this one, I'm gonna have to go GoldenEye.
That's it.
I can't argue against three here. I can maybe argue against one or two, but I can't argue against three. But everything you guys said, it makes sense. So I can't. This is one that I have to be on edge about because PUBG is a fucking dumpster fire. That game runs like shit. It's not optimized for. It's not even optimized for PC, let alone Xbox. So I shouldn't say half the player base, but a chunk of the player base struggles to get through the game as is. So PUBG loses, GoldenEye moves on to the next round.
Don't get me wrong, like PUBG, when it works, it works excellently. When it works, it's specifically like just correctly. It's phenomenal. It's so much fun. But too many issues end up arriving with it. And Dave, if we're gonna be going at this pace, we're not gonna get through one of these lists.
I know.
True.
All right, let's move it right along. I think we'll just go up the list from here. We have CS:GO versus Team Fortress 2.
Oof.
That's not even a question for me.
I mean,
damn.
Both of these. So both of these games are insanely influential in the multiplayer sphere. Team Fortress 2, I mean, when you talk about games that have their roots, arena shooters all strive to be as successful as Team Fortress 2 is. Team Fortress 2 also has their roots in some of the oldest memes on the internet stemmed from Team Fortress 2. And people still play it to this day. I mean, CSGO obviously still has an insanely wide player base. I think the only thing that CSGO has over Team Fortress 2 is esports, and that's a big thing. That's not a small thing to consider. For me, I feel like as far as games that have been influential, games that continue to innovate, games that still have thriving player bases, I have to go with Team Fortress 2.
That's a respectable opinion.
It's not.
I am of the respectable, not correct.
That's stupid.
Okay, Bricky, let's hear it.
But I think CSGO. Listen, man, CSGO pisses me off a lot. I've stopped playing it entirely. It bugs the hell out of me. But at the same time, I'm looking back at my Team Fortress 2 days, and I never necessarily enjoyed the TF2 gameplay itself. The thing when I was thinking back on, I had a lot of fun with TF2, but that specifically was because of hat trading. That was the times I enjoyed it the most, was the hat trading. That's what I liked the most. And if the only thing I enjoyed the most about Team Fortress 2 was the hats, then honestly, the time I spent with CSGO, the memes I had with CSGO, it was a lot of fun. So I think, and especially with the esports scene now, and especially as of lately with Overwatch and the whole TF2 type thing, I don't know. I had more fun with CSGO. Granted, I will admit Team Fortress 2 took up a larger portion of my life when I was younger. I remember watching Meet the Pyro for the first time, and not expecting that. I knew it was going to be different, but I remember watching it. I was like, I don't think anyone expected it to be like this. I'm not upset, but goddamn. But I don't know. I just really liked. I really enjoyed my time in CS:GO. So I think I'm gonna have to go with CS:GO.
Can't blame you. All right, Bob.
This is another pretty tough one. Like, Team Fortress 2 integrated so much shit, not just into like the first-person shooting gaming itself, but the communities that get built around them. Like Bricky was saying, around like the whole hat fucking meme and everything that came along with it, and the communities that just built themselves up from there. It's incredibly influential. But when I harken back to my roots of Counter-Strike Source, when I played that game like religiously, this was back in the day when I played RuneScape originally. I was also playing. I was battling playing RuneScape and Counter-Strike Source at the same time, so they were both vying for my time. But I eventually succumbed to Source, and I got rid of RuneScape. But I mean, they're both mechanically sound first-person shooters, but there's just too much going on for Counter-Strike Go to not have that one win. Like it's too current. There's such a big spotlight on it now, especially because esports is becoming so much more prevalent than what it was before. Team Fortress 2, I don't ever see that becoming an esport. It's too much of a arcadey type of game. Counter-Strike Go it's deathmatch. Like, you can't go against that. It's team deathmatch the whole time. It's all competitive at all times. It's got to go to CSGO.
All right,
that's fair.
All right, Chris, I think we already know what your answer is. Let's hear it.
Oh yeah, I'm CS:GO till I die. I fucking love that game. I put hundreds of hours into that game, and I can honestly say it's one of the games, one of the games recently that I've actually been addicted to. You guys ever see in Fairly Odd Parents is Finbar? No, it's not Fairly. I think it's Jimmy Neutron maybe. There's Finbar Calamitous.
It's Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah,
Finbar Calamitous.
Finbar Calamitous. So he starts something and he never finishes it. That's me with video games. I get addicted really quick, and then I fall off the next week when another game comes out that I really want to play. With CS:GO, I was hooked on that. You couldn't tell me anything. To me, I love the first-person shooters like Call of Duty and whatnot because they have search and destroy. It's a slow and strategic game type. And to me, CS:GO, I guess you could play deathmatch and unranked, but once you went in ranked lobbies and you were actually playing like their version of search and destroy, It was very strategic, and everyone had a microphone. And if you didn't have a microphone, it sucked. The first thing you heard was Mike, 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 and everyone was like, yo, what's up, what's up? And that's the first time in a while I've seen a game that people were actually trying. And everyone had a microphone. Everyone was trying to rank up. Of course, you got toxic people who were smurfing and trying to de-rank and whatnot. I mean, hell, you can, as someone who was probably voted pretty likely to start a Ponzi scheme, you could sell money in this game. Sell skins, why don't you? You could buy a Dragon Lore skin and sell it for thousands of dollars. What other game have they had, like, actual in-game skins that cost real-life money?
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Yeah, Team Fortress.
Yeah. Oh, they had it too?
Well, the hat trading.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I mean, it is true though. The idea of the whole massive in-game skin market kind of it didn't start with, but really exploded with CS:GO, and then even exploded, or the idea of it exploded more when the whole lotto thing happened. So in reality, like all the birth and death and everything in between kind of started from CS:GO, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, you get that. Yep. CS:GO. Chalk it up. Write it down.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. CS:GO. Moving on. Almost a clean sweep with CS:GO. All right. So we've got Far Cry 3 versus Battlefield 3. For my money, Far Cry 3, I just feel like is the more robust game. I feel like this is a tough matchup. This is a really bad pairing for me. As somebody who's not a huge like competitive multiplayer guy, I couldn't give a fuck less about Battlefield 3. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's a beautiful game. I think it's done some great stuff. I mean, obviously, the Battlefield series is insanely popular. Can't stand EA, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. Far Cry 3 absolutely takes the cake for me, bar none. The level of customization, the amount of just ridiculous shit that you can do in Far Cry 3, and the co-op just puts it over the top for me. So Far Cry 3, that's my case. Bob, what do you got?
No, I gotta completely agree with you. I was never a big fan of the Battlefield series. Granted, I know so many people that were so big into Battlefield. Every single one of them. My cousin Chris too, the biggest Battlefield fan of all time. But like, I was never into it. I was always a Call of Duty guy. I always played the other first-person shooters. Battlefield just never was. It never scratched the itch for me. But Far Cry 3, as negative as I am about that entire franchise, because I'm not the biggest Far Cry fan, Far Cry 3 was the only one in that entire franchise that I enjoyed playing. So I got to go with Far Cry 3.
That's fair.
Bricky?
Far Cry 3 by far. I prefer single-player games in a sense, or they go higher up on my list than multiplayer stuff. I love multiplayer stuff, don't get me wrong. It's always fun, but I consider Battlefield 4 to be a better game over Battlefield 3 to begin with. And let's be honest, the campaign of Battlefield 3 is abysmal. It's garbage.
Sucks. Me and you were like in the
it's
same
absolutely
boat,
awful.
dude. I feel the same exact way.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest. Like, I mean, Far Cry 3, it like birthed a lot of Ubisoft memes, radio towers, and all that kind of shit, you know. But Far Cry 3 was kind of one of the first that did that. So it's almost like if you go watch the original Star Wars, like, do they say like cheesy shit? Yeah, but it wasn't cheesy at the time.
Yeah,
you know, it started, and I mean, plus let's not forget, goddamn Voss. Voss as a villain was amazing,
dude.
It was so fun. Rest in peace to his, you know, his actor,
Rip,
of course. But like, I mean, Voss was great. The gameplay was fun. It was interesting. How the whole little opening with what's that song? Paper Planes? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, it was exciting. The world was big. It was, you know, Far Cry was fun. I loved it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a 4-0 sweep. Because I'm going Far Cry. I feel like this is a matchup of games with a lot of shit. Like just a lot of shit thrown into it. But Far Cry did something better with all that shit, in my opinion.
This has never been seen before. First of all, not only have all three of us agreed on something, but we now have a guest who is the fourth person to agree with all of us. This is revolutionary.
Oh, but you made it too easy though, man. You put Far Cry 3 against.
It was randomized. This was randomized.
It was random.
Well, there you go. Then that makes sense.
It was random. All right, last one in the round of 32 for the modern.
You should just
bracket.
write it down for this one. Just write it down.
Yeah,
just do it. We
COD
all
4.
know the case. Yeah,
the
it's COD 4. I love Siege. It's great. It's fun. But COD 4 did everything better. It has an excellent campaign. It revolutionized Call of Duty as its own medium. Let's be honest right now.
Dude, that game took simplicity and made it the best thing in the world. You had 3 kill streaks, you had like 2 shotguns, a couple assault rifles, a couple SMGs, like 5 skins that you could put on, and like 8 maps, and that was it. Yep. But it was great because they made something so simple so great because they didn't add too much shit, which is why, in my opinion, a lot of Call of Duties fell short for me because they just tried to do too much. In COD 4, it was just the right amount of stuff that they should have had in the game. No overpowered kill streaks, no overpowered attachments. Everything was just spot on for me.
Oh yeah, I personally don't think COD 4 is super balanced. Actually, the M16 one bursting you.
The M16.
It's really bullshit. And to be fair, because of the randomness of the RPGs, helicopters at some times were really mean. But in the entire overarching thing of it's just, I don't know, man. I guess COD 4 Siege is great. Siege is unique, but Siege does not have a decent campaign or any campaign for that real matter. And what COD 4 did and its simplicity is just fun. I love R6, but it's COD 4 just too much there.
I mean,
Bricky,
Siege...
did you ever play on PC? Did you ever play COD 4 on PC?
Oh fuck yeah! I played those like 70 person shipment matches where you would die every second, and that's how I got Red Tiger. You know that was the way.
Yeah.
So did you play it competitively at all? So
no, I never did. I was never good enough for that. So.
All right, so there was a type of mod I used to play. It was called Pro Mod.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you heard of it. Dude, Pro Mod
there was another YouTuber, Fantasy with a PH. I met him. He used to play COD 4 professionally with Pro Mod.
Yeah. Dude, Pro Mod was incredible, and then because it was made for getting max FPS, so everything ran super smooth. You could only have one person with an assault rifle, one person with an SMG, one scope. No, 2 assault rifles, 1 SMG, and 1 scope, and that was it. So like, not everyone could rush you with SMGs, and you had to be super strategic about it. I played that for years and years, and that's what really grabbed me by the balls with Call of Duty. Because I didn't really play console that much. If I did play console, I played private matches with my buddies after middle school. Everyone ran home and played private matches. It was the fucking best thing ever. Now I'm out here smoking cigarettes and drinking beers to waste time. Back in the day, I used to run home by Call of Duty.
Dude,
it's fair.
You got to give credit where credit's due, though. I mean, Rainbow Six literally revived an entire franchise. Siege, that is, revived an entire franchise. I mean, even Rainbow Six Vegas was a really big multiplayer game. I mean, the original one was phenomenal. I mean, remember Rainbow Six used to be one of the biggest competitive games on Earth. And Rainbow Six Siege really brought that back in a major way. I think there was probably like a 6-month period where nobody I know was talking about anything but Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, the game is beautiful. I think even when Rainbow Six Patriots got canceled or shelved or whatever, and people were like, fuck, Rainbow Six is just done for good, and then Rainbow Six Siege comes out and just blows everybody's dicks off. I mean, it was really a phenomenal title, but I think that COD 4 is, I mean, I think it's a great matchup, honestly. I don't know that there's anything that would be a really tough matchup for me on this list. Like COD 4 and CSGO, I suppose you could argue. COD 4 and GoldenEye, you can argue. But I mean, COD 4 and GoldenEye is probably like the tightest matchup because they both have that nostalgia factor. But who knows? I mean, maybe they'll meet in the Final Four. We'll see what happens.
I don't want to put. Oh, go ahead, man.
Sorry, I think Rainbow Six Siege definitely could have put up a fight against other people in other games in this bracket for sure. But like up against Modern Warfare, it's a little too tough.
See, I don't want to rate it entirely on a nostalgia factor because don't get me wrong, if nostalgia is without a doubt the strongest factor you could do with anything, it would nostalgia tinted goggles is called that for a reason. But when I played like COD 4 Remaster as of recently, like I thoroughly enjoyed myself more than I expected, and considering that I feel like I had more fun playing that to an extent than I did Rainbow, and even then Rainbow wasn't a perfect game. Honestly, when Rainbow Six Siege came out, it was actually pretty shit, if I'm being honest. Ubisoft did its Ubisoft thing, where it releases a mediocre game with a cool concept and then makes it good about a year later, and then then it starts getting really good, and then that's what the Ubisoft does. They did it with The Division, they're doing it with For Honor, but at the moment, COD 4 just feels good. When they remastered it, it also felt good.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep nostalgia too hard, because if I was gonna do nostalgia, I would have picked TF2 over CS:GO, but no, I just think COD 4 is solid.
Dude, it was when they remastered it, it was fucking beautiful. Like, they didn't do much to it besides like a little graphic updates and brighten some stuff up and like maybe change around the loading screen and whatnot, but they pretty much kept the game exactly the same, which is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, kind of the definition of just like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's kind of funny because Activision did the complete opposite with GoldenEye 64 remastered, which fucking blew. And it was just like they had to make it like Call of Duty. Like, I would have been fine with just even a reskinning of GoldenEye 64, but they ended up adding a whole bunch of shit on top of it, and it completely like watered down why everybody loved the original. All right. I mean, I feel like we have enough time to like finish this one out and bring it down to one, if you guys have the time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I already know. I got mine.
All right, Rob, this is your bracket. Where do you want to start? We've got COD 4 versus Far Cry 3, or CS:GO versus GoldenEye.
Hold on, give me that one more time.
COD 4 versus Far Cry 3, or CS:GO versus GoldenEye. Where do you want to start?
We're gonna go with fuck. Let's start at the bottom. We'll go CS:GO versus GoldenEye.
All right, do you want to start us off?
Fuck, I mean, again, like, I have to harken back on everything I said previously about GoldenEye, where if you can play a game still to this day for countless hours, I think that holds more value. In my personal opinion, I think if you can play a game from... Because you can still play Counter-Strike Source. Like, it looks like shit, but it plays fine because the game mechanics are so consistent between Source and Global Offensive that you can play either one of them. But when it comes to GoldenEye 64, it's almost like... It's tough to look at nowadays. And the controls, because you're holding the fucking N64 controller, which made no sense, but as... 8-year-old and 9-year-old Rob used to play, it made all the sense in the world. But currently, my fingers just can't do it anymore. So, I don't know, man. GoldenEye just doesn't hold up to this day. I still have to go back to CS:GO. It's too big of a game as of right now. And Counter-Strike Source can still be played today, especially with all the mods that go into it. GoldenEye has the lasting factor of it made such a big impact on first-person shooting, like, as of the turn of this century, but you can't play it today. It's almost unplayable today. Counter-Strike Source has gone on up until this point, and Global Offensive has just gone past it, in my opinion. So I got to go with CS:GO.
Okay. All right. Chris?
I am also going to have to go with CS:GO on that. Not really many reasons behind it. I just feel like, to me, that game holds more ground than... Like Rob said, that's a valid point. Like, the game is still kicking, and the older versions of the game are still kicking. If they can stick around for so long... Like, granted, shit happens, and, like, the community dies down a little bit, and hackers start coming into the game, but you can still have a good time playing CS:GO and trying to rank up and whatnot, and you'll still find some pretty solid people on there. So for that reason, I'm still going CS:GO.
All right. Bricky?
CS:GO, actually. GoldenEye is fun, but the only thing that's stopping is balance. Odd Job and the Golden Gun are bullshit.
Yeah, man.
And it remains bullshit. And it's funny sometimes to screw your friends up, but at least in CS:GO, things are generally balanced. It's consistent with itself, and no nostalgia that GoldenEye can contain or that can really make it up to me. I'd say I go with CS:GO.
As reluctant as I am, because I do love GoldenEye, but if I take my nostalgia goggles off, I literally tried to play GoldenEye at my buddy's house the other night. By the other night, I mean like a couple months ago, and he was like, "Oh, let's break out a 30 rack of beer and play some GoldenEye. The game's fucking unplayable. It really is unplayable now, and it did not age well. Rob kind of hit the nail on the head with the controls. Like, I don't know how my pitiful 6-year-old brain was able to comprehend being good at that game. And it was fun for what it is. I mean, I'll always love that game, and I'll always have some really great memories with it. But as far as a game that continues to hold up and, you know, continue to influence gaming in such a major way, I mean, CSGO has transcended so many generations of first-person shooters and has survived so many changes and trends and everything like that. So where a lot of others have fallen and iterated and CSGO has remained the same, you just can't argue that. You just can't argue longevity. You just can't argue staying power, and you just can't argue just a raw, great game. And Counter-Strike is up there, man. It's you can't argue it.
Yeah, a big thing that I've seen all of us pretty much say, but not say. Well, Bricky said it, but the consistency is so huge for me. I love a consistent game, and CSGO remains consistent.
Yeah. So we're just gonna put COD 4 in the next one, right? Because
I don't have an argument. I don't have an argument.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Like I love Far Cry, but Far Cry doesn't have multiplayer. Yeah. And if it did, I don't know if it would be very good. Well, of course, I like Far Cry's campaign more than COD 4's because it's just more fleshed out. Of course, it's only a campaign. Yeah, I gotta do COD 4.
Good call. Right. I have no arguments. This is gonna hurt me. These two.
This is probably the biggest debate of Chris's entire lifetime, which is exactly why I'm making him start.
Come on, buddy. Let's hear it.
All right, I got the answer for it. I am going to go with CSGO in the Final Four. Hurts me to say no to COD 4, but to me, I wasn't at the age with COD 4 that I seen it in too much of a competitive realm. With CSGO, I see what people are doing at tournaments and at events and whatnot. Like when we were in Montreal, we seen Cloud9 and Immortals, I think it was, and that the stadium was electric, pure electricity, and I fucking loved it. And I don't think, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, whatever you want to call it, didn't have that wow factor for me, and I didn't see it in that light. In CSGO, I had the chance to see in that light, so I'm gonna go with CSGO.
Bert?
Interesting. I'm actually gonna go with COD 4 actually. CSGO's enjoyment for me was pretty heavy, don't get me wrong, but COD 4 felt for me was more important was the relaxation factor. I didn't relax when I played CSGO. I was never relaxed. I was always stressing, I was screaming because I was getting one tap by AKs. I was yelling because I was getting a fucking incendied. I was turning the corner and immediately one tap by X, Y, or Z. It pissed me off. I had fun, but it pissed me off. COD 4, most of the time, just felt very fluid, and it felt very natural. And I could go 5 and 10 in a game and still enjoy myself. Where I feel like I'm literally just a giant weight. If I'm in CSGO. So the main thing that separated for me was how much fun I was having and the relaxation effort. And for me, if I gotta choose a couch game, it's gotta be COD 4.
Can I chime in a little bit on that before we continue? I get what you're saying. To me, I think I didn't have a relaxation factor with Call of Duty 4 at all. And that's because to me at that time, to show how big your dick was, it was all about your kill death ratio. So you were always like, to me, I was freaking out when I was negative. All my friends like, oh my god, you only have a 1.2 KD. I'm like a 2.5. You're a loser. So like I was always like on edge playing that game. I always wanted to do good. With CS:GO, that was thrown out the window for me, and it was all about winning. It didn't matter how good you did number wise, as long as your team won and you were able to rank up.
That I feel that. I didn't run with that crowd. I was the guy who got top frag in the game. I would have like 30 kills
and like
28 deaths.
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
So that was my kind of guy. I was running out with SMGs getting murdered, but I would sometimes murder people. So I just didn't care. So that definitely could be a difference. But I see what you're coming from, because everyone was just like 4.0 KD joining phase, you know?
Yeah, exactly. 360 no scopes and crazy shit like that. I couldn't relax. But we're different on that, and hey, that's why we're debating the good old debate.
Yep.
Robert.
Modern Warfare 4.
Modern Warfare 4. Love it.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Call of Duty,
not out
Call
yet.
of Duty 4, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. I mean, Modern Warfare 4. That. Hold on, put your tinfoil caps on.
Hold
That's
on.
coming at some point.
Bricky, tinfoil cap, please.
Sledgehammer Games for Activision. Their next game that's coming out is going to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. You heard it here first. First, tinfoil caps off. Thank you.
Sledgehammer or Infinity Ward?
Who
Because
did the last one?
Infinity Ward made the CODs. Sledgehammer just made World War II.
So I thought Sledgehammer was the one that did
Advanced Warfare.
Advanced Warfare.
Correct. Infinity Ward.
Okay.
Infinity Ward
Infinity
did
Ward, then.
Modern Warfare's Ghosts and Infinite.
Yep. Okay. So tinfoil caps back on. It's going to be Infinity Ward. Thanks, Bricky. Okay, you can take them off again.
All right, so we got.
Yeah, it's going to go Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4.
So do we have
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare? Holy shit!
Oh my god!
All right.
This numbering shit's fucking me up right now.
Okay, so is it all three of you COD 4?
No. Chris is CS:GO.
Okay, so I mean, for me, I just feel like both of these games can claim parentage for so many other shooters, pretty much almost every other shooter in this bracket. Like any other shooter worth their salt can probably trace some influences or roots back to Call of Duty or CSGO. On one hand,
GoldenEye.
Minus GoldenEye, right? I mean, it's like if you can have, it's like if there was like a Full House season, but it was instead of like Dave Coulier, John Stamos, and Bob Saget, it would be CSGO, COD 4, and GoldenEye raising all of the children of the first-person shooter genre.
That was good. That was good, Dom. It's
pretty
How
good,
long have you
right?
been thinking of that for?
I thought that was,
That's not bad.
that was just off the top of my head.
Where's DJ Tanner though? Is she there?
Hey, I hope so.
Big DJ Tanner guy.
So, yeah, absolutely. So, this is like it's like tearing me apart right now to try to like pick between these two, because on one hand you have like Call of Duty 4, which obviously like it's been remastered and it kind of like does its thing. COD Remastered was great. It was a great little like fun couple of months where people played that, but now obviously things have kind of moved on. But then again, you have CSGO, which is still like, if you love CSGO, you love CSGO. But I just feel like as far as overall influence on the genre, as far as like when you talk about your best first-person shooter, not your best esports first-person shooter, not your best vintage first-person shooter, but your best first-person shooter. I mean, I think there's a lot of people who probably wouldn't have ever played a first-person shooter game if it wasn't for COD 4, and I think that has changed the way a lot of people play FPS games. So I have to go with COD 4.
I agree with that.
Right.
I agree with that. Fuck you, but I agree with it.
Hey, I mean, this is a... if it was the entirety of Counter-Strike, I might have gone with Counter-Strike, but we're excluding Source, we're excluding 1.5, or 1.6, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so I'd have to go with COD 4, honestly. Now, I would not take COD 4 over a couple of these other choices here, but for the modern section, I'd go with it.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Dom, right there, because I feel like I wouldn't even have played CSGO if it wasn't for COD 4.
There you go.
Yeah, so I agree with that.
Dude, COD 4 was just one of those games where every day after high school, the people in my classes, we would all go home and be like, all right, I'll be on we just got home. It is 3:15. I'll be on at 4 o'clock. And we would play from 4 o'clock until 11 p.m. that night. Every single day when Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Good job.
That's the game. That's the correct name.
Yes.
Every single day we would when that game was relevant, that's what we did every single day, and that was the only Call of Duty I ever reached max prestige in. So I put so much of my time into that game where I can't allow it to be Counter-Strike, even though I had so much fun playing it.
Damn, I want that gold cross on my fucking grave.
I know. Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Back when 10th Prestige meant something.
Yeah. Yep. Now it doesn't mean shit because it's still 10 more.
Yep. Hey, let's do sci-fi next. I'm down for some sci-fi. I like these choices.
Oh man. All right. Let's we can probably run through like. Yeah, let's at least do this like Sweet 16, and then we're running a little short on time. I'm running actually a little short on time, so we'll this is actually my bracket. This one was my baby, and I'm actually not happy with the way that the chips fell on this one, because a lot of the seeding, like my top seed was Halo 2. I think a lot of people will probably agree with me that it's probably the best sci-fi shooter, if not one of. That's like my. I mean, if I had to like pick one other game, one game in this bracket to like play and never play any other ones again, it's probably Halo 2. Huge Halo guy. I am to Halo what like Chris and Rob are to like the COD series. So, I mean, other people are panicking too. Like you're putting BioShock against Time Splitters 2. Again, I did not. I put this in a randomizer. Time Splitters one of my best favorite games ever. I guess we'll just go from top to bottom.
Yeah, let's just hit it.
Yeah, let's just go for it. Star Wars Republic Commando, one of my favorite campaigns in any game. Period. But I can't put it over Halo 2.
I'm with you on that one. I love Republic Commando. It was the first game I ever had on the original Xbox.
Dude, thank you for understanding me.
No, I loved it. I forget the dude with the red armor, but he always gave me the field strip. It was I adored Republic Commando, but Halo 2 is just got everything. It's the campaign was so good, so memorable. The multiplayer was amazing, and fuck man, the Arbiter. That they introduced the Arbiter. They had an entire subsection where they learned about the Covenant and the Prophets and this fanaticism discussion. It was like a deep campaign. I honestly can't not do Halo 2. I really cannot do Halo 2. Or cannot. You get the point. I'm doing Halo 2.
And you're gonna need to come back on so we can actually like talk about Halo campaigns, because I feel like not a lot of people want to talk about that shit with me when they come on, but we can talk about it.
Fair.
Chris, have you played Star Wars Republic Commando?
No, but I was gonna say, so with these sci-fi games, I'm probably not gonna be able to elaborate much. I've touched a couple of them. I mean, I'm incriminating myself again. I've touched them a little bit, but not much. Pretty much all of them. So I'm just gonna go off of what I remember. Halo 2 is one of the games that really got me into first-person shooters. Kind of like a COD 4, but in the Halo realm. So I'm going with Halo 2.
Bert?
Cool.
I gotta absolutely go with Halo 2. Because if we could allow third-person shooters onto this game, I still think Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the Xbox was the best Star Wars game, one of the best Star Wars games ever created. Yes. So, in my opinion, if that was a first-person shooter, that would take that Star Wars spot for me. And I still wouldn't give that up over Halo 2. Like, you know how I say all the time I used to be ranked in Gears of War 2?
Have you?
Yeah, I say it all the time. I was in the top 60. Not a big deal. In Wingman, it's really not a big deal. I was kind of a huge deal, but like not a big deal.
Honestly, it doesn't have.
Oh man, are you already typing out Half-Life 2 for the next one?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair. That's all right.
But when it came to Halo 2, Halo was the quintessential game in that franchise that united some of my longest-lasting friendships to this day. Where we would go to Mark the Shark's house. We would sleep there for the weekend, and if we weren't playing Gears of War 2, we were playing through the Halo 2 campaign on Legendary, all skull mode, and we would just do that all weekend until we could get through it.
Shout out to Mark the Shark.
Shout out to Mark.
Only person I've seen smoke a cigarette in one drag.
What a legend. Shout out to Mark.
Jesus.
Absolutely.
Bricky goes, Jesus.
That sounds painful.
It's impressive. It's really impressive.
I hope you guys don't mind me giving Half-Life 2 a bye. Fuck Destiny. It was on there because...
I enjoyed my time in Destiny. I had a good time when playing with friends, but I would not in a million years put it over Half-Life 2.
All right. I'm gonna skip this one because I really don't want to do BioShock versus Time Splitters yet because I just can't emotionally bring myself there.
All right.
Just give me some time. Titanfall 2, Metroid Prime. I have to go, dude. Titanfall 2, Bricky. Tell me you played the campaign in Titanfall 2.
I made an entire video series on the Titans of Titanfall 2.
Motherfucker, how?
I did the whole thing. Dude, I beat fucking Viper on like the hardest difficulty, which was some bullshit. Dude. It was so dumb, man. The amount of times I had to hear dodge this and like 70 fucking missiles.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it was so hype. But,
I hate.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. It was like a 4-hour action movie. I loved it.
There was feels. There was action. There was like despair. There was like one of the only first-person shooters that I can probably ever that I can say that I've played in the last couple of years that actually felt like there were stakes. You know what I mean? Like it felt like there was actually something to lose. Like you didn't feel like this super soldier. Like you have a giant robot, but at the same time, it's like you're going up against an entire army, and you're still like behind the 8 ball the entire time. And it's just like, I mean, like that game got me in every single way. Like it kind of pulled out, and it's the two guys, Vince Zampinella and I can't remember the other guy's name. The guys who started working on COD 4.
Yeah, from they quit after MW2.
I think it might be Rick. I think I don't want to like butcher the name, but yeah, after Modern Warfare 2, they left and they formed Respawn Entertainment, and motherfucker. Titanfall, I you know what? I am gonna upset myself, and I have to put it over Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime was unbelievable. I love Metroid Prime so much. I called the Nintendo Power Hotline like 62 times to get through a certain level in Metroid Prime, but I have to put Titanfall over it. It's the hardest thing I'll ever have to do. Actually, the second hardest, because BioShock versus Time Splitters is just going to give me hell. But I have to go with Titanfall 2. I just like there's too many feels, and it was such a perfect campaign in such a neat little package, and they put a little ribbon on it on the end, and it's just and the multiplayer is unbelievable. It's so good. Right out of the box. It was so much fun. It's probably one of the most genuinely fun games that I've ever played, Titanfall 2, and I still have it. So, Bricky, if you ever want to go play a little Titanfall 2, I'm your man. Holla at your boy.
Oh yeah, Gen 20 North Star right here. I am everyone's worst nightmare. I love it.
Oh my god. I'm actually a big what is it? Scorch is the fire one, right?
Oh, Papa Scorch.
I'm a big Scorch guy. Yeah, absolutely. I love Scorch. All right, Rob, what do you got?
I gotta go with Metroid Prime on this one. Again, this is the game in that franchise that revolutionized it to a whole new audience, coming from like people who played the original Metroid games, with some of the biggest twists in gaming. One of the biggest twists in video game history, coming from the original Metroid. Metroid Prime brought that to another generation. It brought it to another age of video game people who just play video games. And I don't know, man, like Titanfall 2 is smooth, it's clean, everything about that game is polished. But Metroid Prime 2 is it's still being clamored for today, with Nintendo dropping the Prime logo last year, and people just fucking lost their minds.
Oh yeah.
Like, how can you argue against something like that? It's too big. I got to go with Metroid Prime.
Absolutely. I feel you on that. Chris, have you played either of these games?
I played a little Metroid Prime, and I played a decent amount of Titanfall 2. I haven't finished the campaign of Titanfall 2. Do I plan on it? Probably not. Finbot Calamitous, we talked about this. But I love the multiplayer. Like you said, right out of the box, it was awesome. Tons of fun. I used to play with my friend Jay, pretty decent amount. So for those reasons, I'm out. No, I was watching a lot of Shark Tank. That's why I wanted to say that. I always wanted to say that. But I'm gonna go with Titanfall 2.
All right, Bricky.
Oh, I gotta split you guys down the middle. I love Titanfall 2. It is an underrated gem. It is excellent. The campaign is excellent. It is so much fun. But Metroid Prime, to put it into perspective, Metroid Prime looks pretty good. It actually is it holds up surprisingly well how it looks. That game came out only a year after, like almost exactly a year after Halo 1. And it holds up significantly better. And it bugged me because I love Titanfall. I love what Titanfall represents, but Metroid Prime is, like I said before, single player experiences are higher up on my list. Metroid Prime was a journey. It was a leap going from what Metroid was to Prime is a massive haul in not only tech but in guts. Like that takes some balls to change a game up that much, to make it not only change it, to make it good, but more importantly, it had excellent boss fights. The music I still listen to now.
Dude, the rain. Remember like the rain on the visor?
Oh yeah.
The first time.
Oh yeah. All the different. It's so good, and it's such a good experience. And I can't put Titanfall over Metroid, because if I want a good single player experience with exploration, bosses, it's what I liked. And I can't not enjoy Metroid Prime.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Metroid Prime. I'm just gonna give it up, because I mean, you're right. I mean, I think when you think about the way that it took the direction that it took that franchise, you can't argue it. It's just, I mean, Metroid Prime is such a classic, and even without the nostalgia goggles on, you could go play the original version of that right now, and it would still be an unbelievable ride. So, Metroid Prime's moving on. All right, last one, and then we got to wrap up the episode. BioShock versus Time Splitters 2. I cannot bring myself to immediately start doing this. So, Bricky, why don't you lead us off?
BioShock.
Oh,
in every way imaginable. You want to know why? Because I have only played Time Splitters 2 for like an hour. But BioShock is probably my second or third favorite game of all time. I have a tattoo of BioShock. It is without a doubt incredible. It has, in my opinion, one of the best video game twists of all time.
Yep.
One that really hurt too. When you first played it, you're like, ow, that was just like, it was mean. It was so mean. The big daddies were challenging and tough. The story was good. I cannot take it. I can't change it because Time Splitters I barely ever played. Now, BioShock versus Metroid Prime, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Luckily, I hope we won't have to go too far into that. But BioShock, absolutely, 100% loved it. Ending was a little bit mediocre in BioShock, but it doesn't. If it wasn't mediocre, I would have put it like as my favorite game of all time.
That twist was the ending for me. Honestly, that twist was the ending for me, and I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I love Time Splitters 2 a lot, and I just don't think that any game has impacted me. Though, like BioShock changed the way I think about video games in general, and has made me skeptical about every story in every game I play, no matter how long it is or how short it is. So I have to go with BioShock. Rob,
fair enough.
There's never been a twist in a video game that has left me with my jaw on my fucking table like the twist in BioShock. I put so much time into that game. I played through that campaign probably 3 or 4 times. I wasn't even a huge fan of number 2. I never got around to playing 3 just because I didn't like 2 that much. Because I thought 2 was just too much of the same. Even though you're playing as Big Daddy, I just thought it was too much of the same, like, environment, too much of the same going on, like, you're doing the same things. But when it came to the original BioShock, and I played it so long after its original release, I was just like, yeah, this was one of the summers where I was like, fuck this, I'm going to screw over GameStop for the summer. I would buy the used game, beat it in a week, and bring it back. So this BioShock was one of those games, and I played it, and I was like, you know what, this is going to be the one I keep. I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to play through this a couple more times. I'm going to discover everything there is to discover. And the first time I played through it, and that twist came around, I mentioned in the podcast before, I've never been, like, slumped down back into my couch and just been like, holy fuck, I have been fucked with this entire game. How did I not? I'm a pretty intelligent person. I pick up on things like this. How did I not see this shit coming? But I gotta go with BioShock. That game was too fucking good. Yep. It still holds up. Like, there needs to be a modern day for this generation of consoles remaster of all 3 of those games.
Oh, there is actually.
Yeah, they just come out.
Okay, I take it back.
Yep. There's the BioShock trilogy or BioShock remaster. It's 1, 2, and Infinite with all the DLC, like 4K, also, 60 FPS or whatever.
Was awesome too. I think the ending of BioShock was really good.
I thoroughly enjoyed BioShock Infinite. It could be like 3 hours shorter, but yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely,
I agree. Chris,
BioShock,
done. Okay, so
Sweet.
I think in the interest of time, we should cut it here. But as much as I want to finish this bracket, I mean, Bricky, you're more than welcome to come on next week and we can run through the whole rest of this thing.
Yeah, if I got time, I'll be down.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we'll exchange DMs. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. Okay, we're gonna leave it right here. We're gonna wrap up this episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast just the way we always do, with a little love, little shout outs, a little segment that we like to call Wicked Good Gaming. Send it. So, Bricky, you're our guest. Feel free to plug whatever you need to plug. Shout out whoever you want to shout out. You got the spotlight.
All right. Simply put, if you wanna support your boy, go ahead and go to lootcrate.com/Bricky and use promo code Bricky for 10% off your purchase. So you do some good shit right there.
Get money.
Hell yeah. Besides that, though, I mean, at the moment, YouTube and Twitch is on that giant grind. Discord's come up. I'm feeling good. I got my own encapsulated little stuff. I've been having a good time. Are you specifically wanting me to shout out someone who I think is really good streamer or something, or are you just kind of
I mean, if you want to, you can do whatever you want. You could just plug your channel and stuff. Tell people, make sure people know where to find you. I'm sure everybody in this chat knows where to find you, but make sure everybody on Spotify knows where to find you. And also, I mean, if you want to shout anybody out, you can do that too.
All right, well, it's simply youtube.com/Bricky, or it could still be Bricky or Kadea. I might need to change that, but twitter.com/Bricky, twitch.com/Bricky, Instagram, Bricky IG, you just
the IG.
Easy. All the fun stuff, of course. It's simple to look up. Past that, I mean, there are 1.5 million great streamers out there, but at the current moment, no one really comes to mind specifically that I want to really push people in the moment, everyone's just doing everyone's grinding their thing. I can't think of anyone specific that I really want to push right now. So even though it's not me saying that there's no one there that I do want to push, I'm just saying at the current moment I'm drawing a blank. So yeah, I'm all good. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm not used to the camera.
No, not at all.
Chris, who do you got?
I got no one.
Great, Rob.
What a real fucking change of heart you had there, Chris. I thought you were really going to come around this week.
I'll do what I can.
Yeah. Okay. I want to give a big shout out to Bricky for coming on. This is a great podcast.
Thank you.
Tried something. We wanted to try something new for March with the whole March Madness thing. I think it turned out really good.
I agree.
So thank you for coming on. Thanks for being a part of this. I also want to give a big shout out to everybody who listens to us on Spotify, because we got some really great fucking news this week. After being the top trending gaming podcast on Spotify for the past almost 3 months, we finally got featured. So we got featured in the gaming genre of the podcasts on Spotify, and we broke top 50. So that's kind of fucking huge for us. We've only been doing this for 69 episodes. 69 episodes. And we broke the top 50 video game podcast on Spotify. It's incredible. So thank you, everybody who tunes in. Thank you, everybody who follows us and subscribes on Spotify. It's really helping to push us up there, because we're coming for some gaming podcast throats, okay? And we're going to be there. So just wait. Just fucking wait for it.
Yeah, we've got people in the chat right now who are saying that they found us on Spotify. To everybody who already listens, thank you so much. For everybody who's already subscribed, thank you so much. And if you don't know where to find us, you can find us on literally every major podcast platform: iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and of course, last but not least, Spotify. #1 top trending gaming podcast on Spotify. Literally, you just search gaming podcast, we're the first one that comes up, and now featured on the top 100 gaming podcasts on Spotify. We're number 48 last time we checked, but we checked at first, we were number 60, then we jumped up 12 spots. So make sure you go support your boys, go subscribe to us on podcasts, on Spotify podcasts. Also, if you're watching us on twitch.tv/wickedgoodgaming, make sure you steal your girlfriend's Amazon Prime and subscribe to us. You get a free Prime subscription. You literally don't need to pay a dime. you know, your girlfriend's never gonna know, or your auntie or whoever. Like, just steal your parents' Amazon Prime and subscribe to us. Make sure that you go to Loot Crate and what's the code? What's that promo code again, Bricky?
Lootcrate.com/Bricky and promo code Bricky. We got an emote for that shit.
My God, emote that shit in the chat right now. Make sure you go buy Bricky's Loot Crate. At the same time, make sure you turn around, go on your phone, open up a new tab, and go to Spotify and subscribe to Not Another Gaming Podcast on there. You're gonna have me and Bricky are gonna play some Titanfall 2. We're gonna cry. It's going to be great. And then, you know, next week we're going to continue the first-person shooter March Madness Bracket. This was a whole lot of fun. It broke my heart a million times over, and there's going to be a lot more heartbreak to come. So make sure you tune in next week, twitch.tv/wickedgoodgaming. Every Thursday night we do it live on twitch.tv. Fuck it, we'll do it live. And if you miss the show, that's okay. That's okay. We still love you. Friday, it'll be live on every Friday morning. It's going to be live on all your favorite podcast platforms. So make sure you stay up for that. What else? Am I missing anything? And once again, thank you.
You are missing something actually.
Yeah, we got a little eShop that you know. So when you're going to lootcrate.com and you're checking out, you're using the Bricky code. Open up another tab. You know, just quick little other tab and go to wickedgaming.threadless.com. And you can check out our eShop. We get a bunch of designs. We get a bunch of clothes. You got a niece? Fuck it. Get them some baby clothes.
Yeah.
It's that simple. You got babies in your family? We got you. You want to get a nice pillowcase with the Wicked Good Gaming logo on it? Sold. Go ahead. Take it.
I don't think they have that. But
Bricky,
actually,
what's the,
I think we do.
How much do you save off a Loot Crate if you use your promo code Bricky?
If they're asking, then I mean they should know it's 10%, man.
10%,
that's
baby.
what it is.
10%.
It's what it's always been.
10% can get you so many shirts on wickedgoodgaming.threadless.com or wickedgoodgaming.com/shop. I'm just saying, you can get a lot of merch on there. You can get a onesie for your baby, nephew, or niece or child. You could get a beach towel. You could get a notebook. You can get a T-shirt. You can get a hoodie. You know what I mean? Make sure you buy some extra stuff. And after having plugged everything that I think on earth that we have to plug,
nope, you're wrong.
Oh, there's one more thing, Chris. Do you want to like
one
take us
more
out?
thing? There's one more thing. God damn it! There's one more thing. So I know we're talking about buying stuff, but you know, us over at Wicked Good Gaming, we like to give back. We like to give stuff away for free. So if you guys haven't heard, we actually tweeted this out at Wicked Good Games on Twitter. Obviously, that's where you tweet stuff. But on March 20th, we're actually going to be giving away a free copy of Sea of Thieves to someone that retweets, likes, and follows the tweet.
What?
Yeah, I know.
We're giving away a free copy? Like, you don't have to pay $63.74 in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to buy one?
No. We'll even pay for We'll even pay for shipping.
What?
We'll even pay for the goddamn shipping. Yeah, so if you go over to twitter.com and you search for @WickedGoodGames, you'll see the tweet there. All you have to do is retweet, follow, and like, and that gives you one entry. And I think I'll give people another way to enter. If you go over to Spotify and you subscribe to Not Another Gaming Podcast and you screenshot it and tweet it at us, we'll give you 2 entries.
So how many entries total?
I like it.
So you can get 2 entries total right now.
Ooh. So
yeah, not bad.
You mean to tell me that you can get a free copy of Sea of Thieves just by liking, retweeting, and following on Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
And now let me get this straight. And by subscribing on Spotify and screenshotting it and tweeting it at us?
Yep. And that'll give you 2 entries, and it's going to be drawn on March 20th.
Man,
right
what
in the
should
morning,
we do? What should we do if this really blows up and we get a whole lot of followers from it? Like, what do you think we should? I mean, what should we do?
Oh my God, I think we should set like a milestone or something. If we break like, I don't know, I'm just gonna throw a number out there, like 1,000 followers on Twitter, we could give away maybe another copy.
I'm down for that. I'll do that.
If we break 1,000 followers on Twitter, we will give away a second copy of Sea of Thieves. It's 2 copies for the price of 0. That we will be giving away just for engaging with us on the internet. That sounds like it takes literally 11 seconds. And with all that money that you're going to save not buying Sea of Thieves, you can go subscribe to a Loot Crate on lootcrate.com/Bricky, promo code Bricky. And then you can go to wickedgoodgaming.com/shop and you can buy a hoodie. And then also subscribe to us on Twitch.
Time for bed.
Wow. So that's pretty much it. Thank you once again for everybody who's been listening. This has been Not Another Gaming Podcast, episode 69. It's your boy, Papa Dom. We got Dr. Bob, Chris P, and the illustrious Bricky, my man, Thicky. We are doing it real live, and we will see you next week, baby. We love you.
Lit.
My
Is
lungs,
that good?
My lungs are
That was
aching.
great. That was fucking great.